Hey guys, welcome back to Animation Station. As you can see, I have a fancy little light here because we're going back into the horror genre yet again because aside from the marathon that I already have planned that is coming out later today, I have also planned another marathon on top of that to go on simultaneously that'll carry throughout the entire month. And that is, I'm going to be reviewing the Chucky TV series. Now, I've already reviewed seasons 1 and 2 in pretty good detail on my other old channel, Cynical Saiyan 77. So, rather than making new videos just to say the same old thing, I thought I'd just carry them over here. Now, yes, I technically already carried them over here because these were part of 31 Days of Horror, but I don't think you guys want to sift through an 11-hour video just to try to find it. So, instead of making you go through that supercut just to find my thoughts on it, I thought I would go ahead and just share them separately. Now, I did an entire, just overall, spoiler-free review for the first season, which is the video you're about to watch. And then for season 2, it's episode by episode, and then it'll also be episode by episode for season 3. So, yeah, we're going to be having a little bit of a Chucky-thon here on Animation Station. Now, I've already reviewed all the films. That is in that 31 Days of Horror supercut if you want to go check it out. But as for the show, I wanted to make it separate because I've been doing more television series reviews and videos lately, so I thought I'd just go ahead and make it its own separate thing. So, without further ado or delay, hope you guys enjoy. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And 14+ warning, because on Cynical Saiyan 77, I did not hold back on cursing, which, if you saw my Blood and Honey review, you would have already known. So, without further ado, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoy my review of Season 1 of Chucky. Enjoy.
I'm walking on the air.
How's it going, everyone? Jack Small, your one and only Cynical Saiyan 77, back at you again with another video, and we continue our 31 Days of Horror because it's time to take a look back and review the first season of the Chucky TV series. Now, if you're wondering why I'm doing it in this format, if you haven't watched my latest video I just put up on Animation Station, I'll give you a little gist. I have been having fucking audio issues all night when I try to do it in that usual format for some stupid fucking reason. I honestly don't know. So I'm going to do it in this format this time, and then hopefully tomorrow we will be back to the other format. So, with all that said, let's get into the Chucky TV series. Starting off with the big positives here, I actually really like the main cast here, specifically Devin and Jake. Those two are really good characters, the actors are really good, and you understand the situation. And of course, Chucky is always great as always, and then some of the legacy characters are in here too. Andy's really good for the little bit that we see of him in here. Tiffany, always a delight. Jennifer Tilly is always a delight. And then Kyle is good. She just doesn't really have much to do, unfortunately. My other big pro for it, it definitely has great camera work. It has amazing directing from Don Mancini, who's really come a long way from Seed, let me tell you what. And of course, Chucky himself is still Chucky. He's still spouting one-liners, he's still being one rude fucking doll, and he is still as badass as he's ever been. And then my next big positive is the kills. Despite this being a TV show, there is actually some really good kills and gore in this show. You have eyeballs popping out, you have people getting stabbed horrifically, you have defenestration, you just have some pretty fucking crazy kills, and they're not afraid to show the blood either. Yes, the first kill is kind of tame because it's just electricity, but the rest of them, oh, it gets
it becomes a fucking bloodbath. Especially one of Chucky's deaths near the end of the series. I'm not going to spoil it. This is going to be a spoiler-free review. I also thought the story was very well handled here, you know, both seeing how Charles Ray became the serial killer that led up to that night at the toy store where he got shot and turned into Chucky, and the story of Jake and his fight against Chucky. I do have some things that I need to critique on the show, though, and that is the main thing right here. This character on the far right, Lexi. In the first few episodes of the show, she is an absolutely unlikable little fucking bitch. Like, she is an absolutely despisable character. But they decide to give her a hero arc where she redeems herself. It's fucking weird. I do think that they should have just killed her off. I don't think she's a good character. And while they make her somewhat relatable in the final few episodes, I still thought she was an absolute bitch. But the way I see it, it's kind of like the experiences that she goes through is what causes her to end up changing into this other person. That's why it's a mixed aspect and not a negative, because it kind of makes sense if you binge the entire show in one sitting. But if you were one of those people watching it like episodically back when it first came out, you would have been really fucking confused. And hell, maybe you are still fucking confused, I don't know. But Lexi's definitely a mixed aspect. I'm hoping in Season 2 they can somewhat fix her character, but you know, it is what it is. The other mixed aspect here is that it's kind of a very loose sequel to Cult of Chucky, because it starts out with this entirely new story where you have just Chucky going with this new character for supposedly to try and make more killers. But at the same time, as you watch it, then that's when it starts throwing in the curse and cult connections and all that stuff. And you do have Nika Pearson here as well. She's good as always. And then the other mixed aspect is the ending of the show. Not the ending where the three of them, you know, defeat Chucky and all that. That part's fucking awesome. I mean the final one, specifically that final scene. I believe it's pretty much infamous now, between Nika and Tiffany. I'm not going to say what happens in it, because again, this is a spoiler-free review. But it's a bit of a mindfuck. Like, I'm not really sure how they're going to carry on from that, but we'll see in Season 2. And just a lot of the show works very well, in my opinion. Yes, it is far from perfect, and there are a few gripes that I need to talk about, going straight into the negatives now. The big one here is that it is a very slow burn in the first few episodes. It takes a while to, you know, get you acquainted with these new characters, acquainted with this new setting, and to try and set the atmosphere that they're trying to go for. It does take a while to actually get going, but once it does, it is a fucking roller coaster ride up to the end. And I just feel like if you're a Chucky fan, you will enjoy this. But if you're more on the casual side of horror, that's not really a fan of Chucky, A, why are you watching this? And B, it's not really going to sway you. But that's just my minor gripes. Moving into my overall thoughts on this first season, I really like it. I feel like it has a lot of twists and turns. It has a lot of unpredictability. There's some great kills. Chucky is still Chucky. You have great camera work. You have great cinematography. You have really good directing. And while it is a very loose sequel to Cult, it still works as a sequel to Cult. Aside from the little all the mixed aspects. Like, they need to fix Lexi's character. They need to fix that. They need to make her actually, make it relatable how she ends up heel turning and becoming a hero character, when in reality she was a fucking bitch that should have died. Just saying, we all know that she should have died, but for some reason or another they did not kill her off. And no, just because the show is LGBTQ related does not mean it is woke garbage. Get off that stupid Gen Z shit. So now it's time for the final verdict. What is my final verdict for Chucky Season 1? Well, I'm gonna go pretty high on it, actually. I enjoyed watching the story unfold and watching it all back to back to back in one day. It was a really fucking good watch. And especially after the 2 fucking pieces of shit that I had to sit through today for Animation Station that were Hocus Pocus 2 and Treehouse of Horror 2, this was a good palate cleanser. I needed this today. This show fucking kicks ass, in my opinion. My opinion is a final verdict overall of an 8 out of 10. It is a kick-ass first season, and I'm really hoping that Season 2 takes everything that makes this show first season work and builds upon it to make Season 2 even fucking better. But, so yeah, if you're a fan of Chucky, absolutely check this out. But if you're more on the casual side of horror and not really into Chucky, it's not going to sway you. It's for Chucky fans, and mainly Chucky fans only. But you may still enjoy it. Well, that's going to do it for this quick review of Chucky Season 1. I am fucking pumped for Season 2, and I'm hoping that it can really escalate. Especially because it's bringing in Glenn and Glenda for the first time since Seed, and it has a new setting, and all kinds of crazy shit. So, hopefully it's just as good. I will be doing episode reactions when the day after each episode comes out, because I kind of fucked up on the scheduling. But, you know what? It is what it is. But that's it for this review. I gotta go film my last review of the day now for Halloween 1976, bona fide classic. So, I'll see you guys in that review. Until then, thanks for watching. I'm Jack Small, your one and only Cynical77. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And 31 Days of Horror shall continue.
We cannot take it anymore. The time has come to go. Prepare to fight. We're ready for this. I really hope that I'm ready.